I want to give a big shout out to Ayana. She seen the Misha Lay video I did yesterday. And she told me her favorite unsung, episode was the story of Bone Thugs and Harmony. So as promised, I told her I would get to it. And here it is, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of other ones I'm gonna react to, but Bone Thugs and Harmony is interesting for the simple fact that it's a lot of interviews they did where they spoke a lot of things as far as industry wise and other things like that, getting into the deep roots of the music game and what goes on and stuff like that, and a lot of meetings that were held. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what's your favorite Bone Thugs and Harmony song, but let me know what's your opinion on them. Without further ado, we're gonna get straight into the video.
We California tipping, 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 tipping. California tipping. We California tripping, 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 tripping. That's how we did. So why we California tripping, tipping, tipping.
You know a Bone song as soon as you hear it.
But
They rap the same, but they didn't sound the same.
Bone Thugs changed the game.
I see I kill a real niggas ready to roll wherever I go.
Bone Thugs is like ghetto angels singing to you.
Standing on the corner straight slanging rocks. Oh man, here comes a crooked ass cop.
The only rap group to record with Tupac, Eazy-E, and Biggie.
I got the habit, yeah. For the love of this.
We are the Guns N' Roses of hip-hop. Professional on the stage, crazy off the stage.
what y'all think about that statement? They are the Guns N' Roses of hip hop. What y'all think about that?
The judge just decided to throw the book at him.
It almost took my life. I was constantly running, I was constantly high, I was constantly drunk.
We tired of looking stupid. We tired of making excuses.
They were just surviving by any means necessary.
Break up, make up to break up. Story of our life.
Uncompromised, unrecognized, unparalleled, unsung. The story of Bone Thugs in Harmony.
Boom, 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 boom.
1996. Bone Thugs in Harmony tops the pop, rap, and R&B charts with a song about life and death called The CROSSROADS.
You played that in your car. You played that when you were happy. You played that to chill. You played that to smoke. You played that when you heard your homie died.
Everybody, I'm gonna miss everybody.
Everyone relates to the nature of losing someone that you love. So this is what ties Bone Thugs into the hearts of everybody. And when it comes to music,
Wake up, it's the first of the morning. Get up, get up, get up.
Throughout the 1990s, Bone Thugs in Harmony united fans around the globe with a fresh mix of heartfelt harmonies and head-spinning technique.
This is like Temptations meets Run DMC meets the Ghetto Boys.
The fast rap harmonizing together, the different cadence, putting it all together and staying within key. They were just so far left field that either it was going to be good or it was going to be bad.
You know, it's the first of the one that might choose we dug for real.
And it was great.
When I was on patrol, a part of me went wrong, and then that happened when the bone was coming up so strong. We just wanted him to see what we do. You motivated us at the shows we seen too.
The members were just as tight off stage, bound both by family ties and the hard times they'd struggled through together.
All we had was each other, you know what I mean? And music carried us a long way.
we're like 5 people from the gutter. You very rarely get 5 dudes that been through something like that and can bring authentic struggle to hip-hop.
But even as Bone Thugs transcended their roots through music, the conditions that they sang about, criminal life, drug abuse, and tragic turns of fate, would revisit them as well.
Busy used to drink himself into a stupor.
You know, being homeless and, you know, shaving off his hair. Like, man, what's going on?
I spent a lot of money bailing my brother out of jail.
I started smoking sherm, and that almost took my life.
I don't want to go back to the block. I don't want to go back to what I used to do. And it's like, what do we do from here? Do we start over? Do we push forward? What's going to happen?
The 5 teenagers who became Bone Thugs and Harmony, brothers Lazy and Flesh and Bone, their cousin Wishbone, and close friends Crazy Bone and Busy Bone, came of age together in an area of Cleveland called Glenville, on the far side of the American dream.
We came from nothing for real. Look around. I mean, look what it is. This is nothing. This is where we come from.
Like, I went through the neighborhood once. Ooh, I'm from the Bronx, and I was like, that's ghetto.
The drug scene heavily impacted the inner cities and all of that stuff, and it can be just as crazy in the metropolitan Glenville area as it is over there in Manhattan, Watts, Compton. That's Cleveland for you.
And well before the future stars got to rapping about life in Glenville, they were living it.
They was trying to jack some or sell some or steal some, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't no partiers. They were street cats.
Hustling, struggling, dead bodies everywhere, gunshots, 38, cost you 40, 50 bucks in the hood. You know, kind of an environment for us.
Like, while we stood on the block and kicked it all night and was out doing our thing as children, we would stand around and sing old songs. You know what I mean? And then singing old songs turned into, well, let's harmonize right here.
Smoking hydro, feeling fine, slow sipping on wine, yeah, ghetto wine.
And picture back in the olden days when everybody be out there standing around the burning barrels, cold outside, and everybody sharing a note or two. Just like that, we did it the exact same way.
Like a temptation.
And we always had a contest of who could put the most words in a verse or in a bar. You know, and that's how the rap starts speeding up eventually over time.
From that point on, like, we start rapping in the hallways and battling other people in school, and we formed a group called the Band-Aid Boys.
The Band-Aid Boys began winning talent shows, then changed their name to Bone Enterprise to record a locally produced album titled Faces of Death.
I'll never forget when we first got the first copy of Faces of Death, you know, seeing our faces on there, our name, and just our music, you know. We thought we was on our way, but, you know, it only got harder because the Cleveland scene is limited. So we was like, bro, we ain't gonna make it up out of Cleveland if we don't leave Cleveland.
So the 5 friends, now calling themselves simply Bone.
That's smart thinking, for the simple fact that a lot of artists, they think it's cool just to be known only where they from.
Hopped a Greyhound to Los Angeles in hopes of contacting their idol, NWA founder and Ruthless Records owner, Eazy-E.
Well, we rode out there with 20 blunts apiece, couple of bucks, but it was just getting up and going. It's go mode, you know, it's time to take a chance.
We started calling Ruthless Records every single day, calling like every day. And I remember I was in the room with Busy. He picked the phone up. He was like, hello? And I guess Eazy was like, yeah, can I speak to Bone?
I handed the phone to Crazy Bone. I said, brother, it's Eazy-E. Say that rap. And then Crazy went off into his rap, and he gave the phone to me, and I said a rap. And
he was like, that is dope. And I can hear people in the background like, damn. And he was like, so where y'all say y'all from again? I was like, we from Cleveland. Man, I got a show in Cleveland in about 2 weeks. He was like, what?
Back in Cleveland, Bone Thugs tracked down Eazy-E backstage after his show.
Eazy said rap, and then Lazy Bone said his rap. So now he's heard Crazy Bone, he's heard myself, and now he's just heard Lazy. That's all he needed to see.
For him, his thought process is like, this is it. Like, this is the next thing. He saw something that nobody else saw.
We had a song called Thugs in Harmony. Eazy heard the song and heard the title. He was like, that should be y'all name, Thugs in Harmony, because y'all singing and y'all rapping and y'all in harmony. And from ever since then, we went by Bone Thugs in Harmony.
Let's roll.
Soon after that, Eazy-E set up a recording date in L.A. with producer DJ Unique.
Eazy, man, hit it right on target, man. You know, putting us together. That was, man, I mean, that was perfect, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a comeback for him, And we, you know what I'm saying, was excited just trying to get in the game.
The first result, released in April 1994, was a game-changing single and video about their Glenville roots titled Thuggish Ruggish Bone.
I just hadn't heard anything that combined that quick staccato rhyme style with a melodic hook with very dirge-like dark music.
Thuggish Ruggish Bone shot to #2 on the rap charts and transformed Bone Thugs into hometown heroes.
That was equivalent to giving Cleveland inspiration as when Cleveland had got LeBron James. It was a party everywhere we went.
Cleveland was at a place where they needed something, and Bone Thugs and Harmony gave them what they needed.
As Thuggish Ruggish Bone rose up the charts, Eazy-E signed Bone Thugs to a long-term deal. And once the ink was dry, Bone Thugs released their second single, this time featuring Eazy-E, and fittingly titled, For the Love of Money.
Before we continue, got a question. Would y'all consider Bone Thugs and Harmony legends? Yes or no?
Quicker than not quite, cause flesh be loving is money. I'm giving up love to the hustlers, all them sight clipped up, just making that money, stand on your feet, and you better believe, gotta have that cheese for the green leaves, never catch me sleep.
That was an idea Eazy-E had. You know what I mean? He pulled that record out the cut like, that's something he wanted to do, something he wanted to be on.
Eazy-E, CPG, or Eric Wright, it's all the same. Now those might trip on how I stacks my grips. I got the habit, yeah.
We doing it because we love the music, but we doing it because we poor as hell, and we trying to get up out these Cleveland city slums, for real.
That's what it really be about, mostly just taking a chance, because at the end of the day, when it comes to a lot of things, you ain't got nothing to lose.
For the Love became Bone Thugs' second top 10 hit. And once more, they shot the video in Cleveland, with Eazy-E aboard for the ride.
We ain't never had no celebrities in the hood back then. And to bring who we used to see on TV, who we used to bump in our cars, E to the hood.
Yep, that's different. Childhood mentor, and just, it was like we was dreaming.
We got Eazy-E on 99th and St. Clair. It don't get no better than that.
I'm looking at the news, and they're like, Eazy-E has just passed away from AIDS. What? Passed away? I'm at the bus stop, this car rolled past, and they stopped at the light. And then I heard real loud, like from the system, it was like, we're not against rap. I'm like, that's my song. Yeah, I'm like, but I'm catching the bus, so I can't even say nothing. I don't want to track him down, like, hey, man, you playing my song? I'm like, yeah, nigga, why you catching the bus?
So it's like, yeah, nigga, why you catching the bus?
With back-to-back top 10 singles, Bone Thugs and Harmony had become hip-hop royalty in their Cleveland hometown.
I went to the mall with my brother, like, to go eat. We sitting down, and, man, all of a sudden, this crowd of, like, mostly, like, little girls just came and rushed the tables, just trying to get autographs. And I was like, man, we got to get the hell up out of here. It was crazy.
We was more famous than we had money. We was living in hotels that Eazy-E was paying for.
We was, like, pretty much, like, enjoying the fame that we had, and then Eazy called us, like, okay, so y'all had enough fun? He was like, I want y'all back in LA. Y'all got to come back. We got to start on this album.
And while working on their second album for Ruthless Records, Bone Thugs also took a trip to New York with Eazy-E.
They just kind of like vibe like this, and wherever he went, they went with him.
Eazy was out here with no coat on, like Jerry curl dripping. I'm gonna catch pneumonia, you know what I'm saying?
He said, I'm gonna walk to the hotel. And I said, all right, cool, I'm gonna get in a limo, go back with Bone.
Sunset Jerry curl dripping.
I never saw Eazy again.
On March 16, 1995, Eazy-E publicly disclosed he was suffering from AIDS. 10 days later, he died from complications related to the virus. He was just 31 years old.
Oh my goodness, it was like hearing about it and then he died. That was what's so crazy about it.
How fast it happened.
It was just almost unbelievable. To this day, it's still unbelievable to me.
We was with E every day. It was like, okay, we gonna do this and this and this and that and that, until like, damn, what we gonna do? Because our mentor was gone.
While mourning Eazy-E, Bone Thugs paid tribute to their mentor by dedicating to him the album they just completed, entitled E1999, Eternal.
Wake up, it's the first of the month.
And the album's lead single carried on the group's vow to keep it real, with a true life snapshot about one particular day in the hood.
Hey, my nigga, we having a wonderful day. And I want to know it. Why it's the first of the month? And I'll be smoking, joking, rolling, busting, sipping on 40 ounces again. Come, we got the busted rum.
First of the month, it speaks for itself. Everybody from anywhere in the ghetto that gets government assistance knows first of the month it's like Christmas in the hood.
We knew we was gonna get some money. We knew we was gonna have some good food. We was gonna smoke good. We was gonna drink good.
And I seen that my sister was already dressed. She said, I'm really gonna get in my stance. Watch I make sure no one snatches my check. Nigga, that's the real dance. Sold to the mail and put it up in the pockets. Let me hit it and land it down. Give me a duck, about that.
People know that feeling of the first of the month because I want to taste a real sandwich. I'm waiting on that first of the month because I can get my hair braided. I'm waiting on that first of the month because I can get my tennis shoes.
First of the month paid serious dividends, cracking the top 20 charts for R&B, pop, dance, and rap.
Even as much as we hated going to the grocery store with the food stamps and everything, it was like, okay, we created a song that seems like it's going to forever be relevant.
And it was Bone Thugs' sense of sorrow that inspired another song on their E1999 Eternal album, one that would ultimately seal their musical legacy.
A lot of people we knew started dying. Wishbone's Uncle Charles got murdered. One of my dudes from the hood, his little brother got shot in the head.
Our friend Tombstone had got killed. My boy Hollywood, Crazy's cousin Boo. I had just lost a son. He only lived for like 6 weeks, you know what I mean? But that happened.
All our loved ones started falling, so, and then after that, Eazy passed.
We suffered a lot of loss, man, and that went dead into that record.
Tell me what you gonna do, but it ain't nowhere to run. Judgment comes for you and judgment.
Bone Thugs channeled their sorrow most vividly on a song they remixed for a video and retitled The CROSSROADS.
Everybody.
They just all come in there, man, and every member, man, throws a part in there that just take it to the next level.
What can I do? It's all about the family and how we do. Can I get a witness? Let it unfold. We live in our lives, we turn our soul. Hey, oh, hey.
We pray.
It was almost like Eazy-E was reaching out to me from the grave through these guys. Still hard to watch that video. I still get a little bit uncomfortable just because of how alive Eric is, man.
The CROSSROADS hit #1 on 3 charts, sold double platinum, and won the Grammy for Best Rap Performance by a duo or group.
That was the biggest moment of our life at that point. Mine. I'm on the Grammys.
Those are what the dreams were made of. Those are the reasons why when you're a kid you say, I want to become a singer when I grow up.
Never be lonely.
By the mid-90s, Bone Thugs and Harmony was ruling the charts with a multi-platinum album, while still mourning the loss of their mentor, Eazy-E. And they struggled to come to terms with their new boss at Ruthless Records, Eazy's widow, Tamika Woods Wright.
I think the relationship started off wrong because we was a bit biased to everything that was going on. You know, like we've been dealing with Eazy all this time. Now we got to deal with her.
I'm not Eric, and I could never be Eric. The formula and the chemistry that they had from the beginning, I could never fill his shoes or do the things that he did.
When he died, to start taking directions and orders from somebody else was totally against what we knew and what we wanted to do, period. We didn't care who it was.
We was already rebellious dudes anyway, so, you know, we looked at that as an opportunity to rebel.
But by now, Bone Thugs' ongoing fascination with death and the afterlife, both in videos and on songs like Mr. Ouija, began to spawn rumors that the band was into devil worship.
We was into everything that was just dark, deep, eerie. We played the Ouija board one time.
Oh,
and, you know, we was just young, doing some stuff, just being kids.
No, you know, that Parker Brothers game, you know, you pick up a game from Toys R Us, and, you know, you really can't say that we're a part of something that Toys R Us isn't a part of.
Back in the studio, Bone Thugs' Us Against the World attitude helped inspire a double album called The Art of War. And the first single from that album took aim at rappers who Bone Thugs felt were biting too much off their original style.
It was like really one of them Bone test me, challenge me type songs, you feel what I'm saying? And kind of like subtly calling people out, but not saying no name type deal.
You know, we tired of hearing it. Leave our style alone. Quit biting.
It's also a song of people really looking at what's going on with each other and in their lives. You know, you have pain, you have frustration, you have anger.
And it's like that. You don't want that. Come and get some pap.
But Busy Bone boycotted the video for the song. His anger fueled by resentment over the contract Bone Thugs had signed with Eazy, and his increasingly hostile relationship with Tamika Woods Wright.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I felt as though that Bone Thugs and Harmony should have been cared for like New Kids on the Block. I felt as though, you know, our money should have been a little better distributed. I felt as though we should have been able to handle our own money.
Everything was under court supervision. So any and everything that was done, whether it was a penny that was being spent, had to be court approved.
I think I kind of gave her more of a chance than, her, she don't know what she doing. And it was like a million people doing that already. Her husband died of full-blown AIDS. Give her a break for a minute, man.
I mean, this was an estate that stayed open for 9.5 years. So those were things that Bone didn't deal with.
10 years from now, where are we going to be? We really, really need to get a larger chunk of our percentage now. So that's kind of like where I was, and I couldn't get anyone to hear me. So I would kind of not be a part of certain songs that maybe I didn't think should have been singles. Not always right.
Despite the drama, Bone Thugs scored a second hit off their Art of War album with a more reflective song titled If I Could Teach the World.
So we should get ready for Armageddon, cause I know God should be ready to roll. Do it with the wickedest like Mr. Policeman. And don't confuse with the dip of a in the end and pray for the politicians free. Let's get an amen. The last days of the last days.
That's one of those songs I could see Michael Jackson covering. I feel like Michael Jackson could have covered If I Could Teach the World. it was definitely like well-received radio, you know what I'm saying? So it showed a different side of the Bone, you know, a lighter side to him, you know.
If I Could Teach the World became Bone Thugs' 7th straight top 10 rap single.
Every day the world goes round and round. I see it's a small world after all. I can go meet and I grew with my fans. Smoke a little weed and have a little laugh.
That's a record that anybody and everybody could listen to.
But if I could teach the world to be a thug just like me.
It kind of took them to a whole nother level.
To repeat, please, if we can, no more murder. Amongst ourselves, if we can, no more murder.
We were put in a position to be thinkers as well as artists and be coherent of fan base, to let them know it's two sides to,
they definitely great
you know, to your day. You know, it can be all good, it can be all bad, or it can just be all thuggish.
But once again, Busy blew off the video shoot, and his erratic behavior was becoming cause for alarm among both friends and bandmates.
We was promised people, all 5 members, but only 4 of us would show up, so they looking at us like, okay, y'all ain't got y'all together. So we missed out on a lot of opportunities, like, because of that.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Those years passed me by because I was so drunk and I was so high. Okay. My grandparents were drinkers. You know, my mom was a weed smoker. You know, I grew up around it. So I think it was not only my environment or my upbringing, but in my bloodline.
Busy's behavior was putting Bone Thugs' career in peril, and another member was about to raise the stakes even higher.
Flesh was usually like the quiet dude, laid back, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, he acting like a psycho.
And I look into my eyes, where you see a really good thug putting it down with harmony.
Through the mid-1990s, Bone Thugs and Harmony changed the game for hip-hop, with a sound and a style that got props from top rap artists from East Coast to West.
That was so fresh and so brand new that everyone knew we got to jump on this to prove that we are a part of what's hot right now.
Get hot, get hot, get hot, get hot.
Underscoring that respect, in 1996, Bone Thugs collaborated with Tupac Shakur on a song called Thug Love, then recorded another song with his rival, the Notorious B.I.G., titled Notorious Thugs.
They did their parts, and then Big was like, what am I gonna do on this?
Armed and dangerous, ain't too many can bang with us. Straight up, we no angel dust, label us notorious.
And that's when we learned, as Biggie fans, how dope they were to make Biggie change his style.
Big come through with mobs and crews, good fellas down to the moon. Who's the killer? Me or you?
We forgive you, and you know what you do.
7 a.m. woke in the morning with Kenny caffeine and green and nicotine. No dose, so pop a couple of dope that are ripped up. Nigga, Mr. Clean, nigga, clean.
Like Biggie got into their car and rode with them. Biggie knew these cats are killing, and this is the way that this shit
He knew
sounds.
the assignment.
You know what I'm saying? Bone and Biggie.
Get hot.
But by the late 1990s, Bone Thugs themselves were coming unglued. Busy was escalating his personal conflict with Tamika Woods Wright by telling a magazine writer that she had boasted about keeping the group drunk and high.
That was their whole thing, like convincing people to not listen to me because I was so young and I liked to drink beer and smoke weed.
How can I say? It's easier to put the blame off on somebody else than take responsibility. Keeping you drunk and high all the time wouldn't benefit me because it's a distraction.
Right. In the meantime, 3 members of Bone Thugs had taken time away from the group to record solo albums, including Crazy Bone, who was out promoting his record even as the rest of the group gathered in the studio for their 4th album, BTNH, Resurrection.
I get another call from Lazy and Busy one day while I was on the road, and they're like, yeah, bro, you know, we understand what you're doing, you know, you can keep doing your album, but we're about to start working on this album without you. I was like, oh, really? Okay, cool, y'all do that. Bam.
Other producers started coming in, you know what I'm saying, you know, and, you know, that's going to kind of you know, change the chemistry a little bit.
This is something we're supposed to do as a group. We're supposed to start this album at the same time with each other, and we're supposed to finish it.
Released in February 2000, BTNH Resurrection went platinum in 1 month's time, but it failed to launch any hit singles, and by that point, Flesh and Bone was busy compiling a rap sheet that had nothing to do with music.
PCP is generally sold on the streets in various forms.
Man, I started smoking Sherm.
The cigarette form, now that could be a Sherman or a factory cigarette dipped in liquid PCP.
There's a lot of people that end up on Sherm, whatever you want to call it, don't come back. And it almost took my life.
He was acting weird. Flesh was usually like the quiet dude, laid back, you know what I'm saying, smart, and all of a sudden he acting like a psycho.
I didn't understand it because my brother was in college, doing very, very well. He went straight gangster, and I don't know if no rapper went harder than my brother.
There were charges for possessing an explosive device, discharging a firearm with negligence, and for threatening a friend with an AK-47 that Flesh had pulled from a baby's crib.
I spent a lot of money bailing my brother out of jail. I don't know if he realized it or not, but 50,000 here, 50 there, 50 there, boom, go to jail. It was just a lot.
It was building, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I guess whatever took place with him and the neighbor, that set it off.
One 4th of July weekend, a verbal dispute between Flesh and a next-door neighbor boiled over into something more.
Man walked all the way on my property early, and so that was the end of the straw. That was it. The man was outside my patio window while I was in bed with my wife. So what was I supposed to do? And I lost it. I lost it.
Flesh claims that no physical violence occurred that day, but a court found him guilty of assault with a deadly weapon, along with criminal possession of a firearm by a felon.
Damn.
Flesh was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
When that incident happened, you know, the judge just decided to throw the book at him. I guess they got tired of seeing him, and they was like, we're going to sit you down for a minute.
Yes, I could have reacted in a different manner, but I jumped and acted spontaneously, and it cost me.
What else could I do but cry like a baby? That wasn't supposed to happen to my brother. You feel me? Like,
you know, being who we are and where we come from, actually, you know, make it and, you know, be somebody in the world to some other people and go to prison for all that time was crazy.
If this is what God wills for me, I had to take it on the chin, accept it, and keep moving. And keep moving. It wasn't nothing else for me to do but try to grow from it, learn from it.
Right.
With Flesh in prison, the other 4 members of Bone Thugs carried on, completing their 5th and final album for Ruthless, Thug World Order. And the album launched a surprise hit single, a collaboration with singer Phil Collins called Home.
I've been stuck in the struggle and I've been wondering if I'm ever gonna bubble. I'm getting caught up in the tussle, instead of using my muscle when every time I extend my heart to my mother. Caught up in the game, now I'm back up in the hustle. Sometimes I sit in the one. It's a for my number if it wasn't for the cost of fam in this world where nobody don't give a damn. But I'm still a man.
My father used to play Phil Collins, you know, in the house, and that song, Home, was like one of my favorite songs. I sampled the Home with his voice on it, and I just put a verse on it.
Lord, please take me home, come and take me home.
That's dope. That's dope.
He heard the song and he liked it. He was like, okay, y'all want to do it, it's cool, y'all go ahead and do it, but if y'all want to shoot the video, y'all got to come way over here.
To Switzerland, come out to where I'm at to shoot the video. And we was like, hell yeah, so let's pack it up and go, let's go.
Hanging up on the block, thinking that in the couch clock on the night shift. Didn't think I'd ever make it out of the ghetto.
we kicked it with Phil Bone. You know what I mean? We called him Phil Bone. He was down to earth, cool. It was cold out there, man, but he stayed outside with us like all day. Just, it was real cool.
But once again, Busy refused to be part of the video for the hit song.
I was null and void to it because I was constantly running, I was constantly high, I was constantly drunk.
We tired of looking stupid. We tired of making excuses as to why this dude is not here.
So in 2003, the other members of Bone Thugs announced that they had kicked Busy out of the group.
You know, he was just totally, acting crazy or whatever, just in his own world at that point in time. And it was, we was just like, that's enough is enough.
This dude's over here, this dude's locked up, y'all over here, everybody doing their thing. Nobody thought that they can get Bone together. I accidentally shot Wishbone with a shotgun, and he was driving. So when I cocked it up, the gun went off like boom, and it shot him it hit him in his leg. Oh man, you shot me. I was like, no, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? My ears was ringing, everything. I was like, what you gonna do? He was like, I'm driving to the hospital. And when he got to the hospital, he actually pulled over. He was like, you should jump out because they're gonna know you did it.
Despite 4 straight platinum albums, by the mid-2000s, Bone Thugs and Harmony seemed to be a dead group walking. With one member in jail and another in exile. But the 3 members still standing refused to let go.
Me, Cray, and Lay always, felt like we got to keep the brand going no matter what. We didn't want to go back to the streets and do what we used to do to, to survive. We had taste of fame, so we wanted to keep that going.
So, working as a trio, the group released Thug Stories in 2006. A year later, they dropped Strength and Loyalty, with help from producers ranging from Swiss Beats to Akon, on a single called I Tried.
I try so hard, can't seem to get away from misery. Man, I
tried so hard.
Always be a victim of these streets.
Akon, he knew what fans wanted to hear. He knew what tempo. He knew what to say. He knew the whole science of what was going on with Bone Thugs and Harmony, which record to do.
It's like I'm taking 5 steps forward and 10 steps back. Trying to get ahead of the game, but I can't seem to get it on track. And I keep running away the ones that say they love me the most.
And if you listen to the verses that I tried, each guy is speaking from the heart of what they're literally going through in their life at that time.
That's a fact.
I see things won't change. I'm stuck in the game. As soon as I get out, it keeps pulling me back. Got me doing dirty. So used to this hustle money that I don't understand. No 9 to 5 work. Studied on the streets. Hustles know what I mean. Hustles ballers before us. I'm trying to make that major league.
And that's why that song became such a major hit. Because it was real, it was honest, it was truthful.
I Tried reached number 6 on the top 100, the group's highest charting pop single in 10 years.
And people were like, man, Bone, man, they did it again. It was just 3 members. Everything was like starting to pick back up, and everything was like coming back full circle.
Then in 2008, after serving close to 8 years, Flesh and Bone was released from prison. On the day he walked free, he was greeted by Lazy, Wish, Crazy, and Busy. Bone Thugs' first true reunion in nearly a decade.
All I knew was I was getting out of prison. I didn't know I was going to have Busy there, Crazy there, Late, a Wish there. I didn't know, but everybody was there. 10 years is a long time for anybody, but one of your buddies who's the reason for you making it in this world, it was phenomenal, beyond tears. The downtime that I was able to get in prison, all of the meditating, all the eating right, the exercising, I think that's what brought me back to natural health. But for me to be able to get out and have an opportunity to go straight to work was like heavenly. It was like prayers answered, as God always do, every step of the way.
Right.
Where the money makers? Yo. Where the fiends at?
All the hustlers, let's get it in like this. Come on.
2013, Rock the Bells. 2 decades after they first came out of Cleveland to change the course of hip-hop, Bone Thugs and Harmony is on stage, together, once more.
The group had to proceed the way they did without myself, also without Busy for a considerable amount of time. And, ultimately, it ain't too far away from home, Bone Thugs and Harmony, that either one of us can get to.
But in the years following Flesh's release from prison, Bone Thugs' journey remained a bumpy ride. They released their 9th album, Uni 5, in 2010, with their longtime producer, DJ Unique. But sales were disappointing.
We were actually seeking for a way to get our creative juices back to flowing. So that was a style that we started working on that we really, really love. But it was kind of, I think it's still one of those records that people really aren't ready for at this point.
There are also reports that both Lazy and Crazy had plans to leave the group. But that hasn't happened yet.
We all understand, like, Bone is the nucleus, Bone is the mothership. This is where it all started, and this is where it's going to end. But, you know, we're all talented enough to go out and create other avenues for ourselves.
I had wrote a statement explaining, like, why I wouldn't be a part of certain things. And people took it like, oh, he left Bone. And they came down hard on me. I ain't leave Bone, I am Bone.
These days, Bone Thugs and Harmony are back to performing before sellout crowds. And in recent years, Busy Bone has found his personal footing as well.
I had to man up, you know? Like, hey, if I'm going to keep on drinking, I'm 100 pounds overweight, I need to put the bottle to the side and get my priorities together.
Right. And salute to him, because that takes a lot of self-discipline. So anybody out there, you know, you got it, you know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing for it each and every day.
And during their 2013 Rock the Bells performance, Bone was joined once more by an old friend, a hologram of their mentor, Eazy-E.
Man, it was crazy, like, to be on stage with Eazy after all that time, you know, because we didn't get to do many shows with him while he was alive.
I think their music gonna be around for a while. Hopefully they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Or if not, we'll start our own Hall of Fame.
They've grown through the experiences, and you know, through every experience that you go through, you're gonna have scars, you're gonna have wounds.
Right.
I'm proud of them because through the highs and lows that they've gone through, they've survived.
Trendsetters, innovators, motivators. Bone Thugs and Harmony is one of a kind.
We can come together or split apart when we want to, because, you know, we are creative individuals, so we're going to do what we got to do.
I think deep down, Bone Thugs
The best
and Harmony
thing is
always
they know how to come right back together.
knew the game. You know, we're not going to ever not be together. We're going to always be homies. You know, always going to be brothers.
We really love each other.
Damn,
First of all, that's all the tough
fast.
guy out the window, all that. This is what makes us and glue us together and makes us who we are.
In the long run, it'll be Bone Thugs and Harmony, whoever go first, carrying that casket. You feel me? Like, that's how we go to
No one bigger than the group.
the grave with.
It's a fact. That's it. Man, that's gonna wrap that up. Once again, shout out to Ayana for requesting this. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. I love y'all. And I thank y'all for everything that y'all do as far as supporting. Make sure y'all continue liking, you know what I'm saying? The views is getting there. Just gotta get likes more. Hoping y'all sharing the video. If y'all can, I would really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Let me know you shared the video and I'll shout you out. Love is love. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.